History is written by the victor. History is filled with liars. If he lives and we die, his truth becomes written.
You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We count them digits and subtract it. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We caught that nigga, send him packing. Yeah, we send it, niggas packing. Don't give a fuck about the past. He hit the pavement, now he napping. You need some shit, just tap, tap, tap it. Just know your role and play your part. You're all talk and you're all bar. We see the loser in your heart, so please stop acting like you're smart. We left that loser in a ditch. That's what you get for talking shit. These niggas talking tough for Twitter, but I know you're full of it. Talking about slime, talking about gang. Nigga, you do not have no click. Nigga trying to say I make a mad, but boy, you really make me sick. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We count them digits and subtract it. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We caught that nigga, send him packing.
History is written by the victor. History is filled with liars. If he lives and we die, his truth becomes written.
You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping.
Yeah. What's good? What's poppin'? What's handy? How y'all doing? Damn bots. I knew you would feel like this. Yeah, yeah. So Ashi is the real. Yeah. All right. We gon' we gonna talk. I don't know if anybody wants to join, so let me go on Discord, I guess, real quick. Free haps. I mean, you're right. You didn't have to say it, but like, right? You didn't have to say it, but yeah, I did have to say it. I'm ending the debate today. But I do wanna genuinely say that I like had fun reading both series for a plethora of reasons, whether it was like the right reasons or the wrong reasons. I did enjoy myself. But I did enjoy Al Ashley more. I actually want to do a contrast and comparison of the two of them because I think that they have a lot of commonality and overlap in ways you may not expect, but they are kind of the antithesis to one another. So we are going to do that. So that's what I'm excited to talk about because they're both football manga that are kind of out at the same time. I think I think Blue Lock started later. I want to say like around 2018 because I think it kind of starts off by talking about what happened in Russia, so about 4 years ago. But I am caught up to both series all the way. When I like vanished off the earth for a little bit, I caught up to Blue Lock. I caught up to the Blue Lock Nagi side story. I caught up to Al Ashi. I reread and caught up to Diano Ace Act 2 and yeah, so I actually like did quite a bit of reading and I was cooking up some work back here and stuff. So you have been warned if you care about spoilers. If spoilers are something or if you're not caught up, this is your warning here because I am all the way into the latest chapter of both series, and I'm not. And you know me, I never hold back. So that's your warning. So let's get it. Yeah, ask away, ask away. So I want to say this before I get into anything. I think Al Ashi is the best football manga that I've read, or soccer for you heathens and bad people. Bad people say soccer, but it's the best one I've read. Area no Kishi had held that title for a really long time. It's called Night of the Arena in English, I believe, and its general premise is about, I believe, making a striker for Japan that could like save us or whatever. And there was two brothers, and basically, if I remember correctly, if I'm not wrong, there was an accident that happened, and essentially one brother had to transplant one part of their body into the other one so the other one could live, and that was the more talented of the two siblings. And then that other sibling has to go on and kind of embody both their dreams, having lived through the tragic accident. And I thought it was a really good premise to start the series with, and it had an emotional weight to it. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. So that was my favorite one for a long time. I have read Captain Tsubasa. I wanna say Inazuma 11 or something. I think that's wrong, but there was one when I was reading and they were going crazy, and that dude hit like 11 balls off the post and like kicked. I said, no, I'm not reading this. I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it. So I didn't like, yeah. So this sounds remarkably like Switch basketball manga. I haven't read Switch. There's a Donhua one that was recommended to me that I have saved. I'm gonna peep. If Switch is the one with the duck in, then I maybe what you're talking about. There's the duck in, and then let's talk about the premise essentially. And then Giant Killing was the other one, but that kind of focused on a manager. So that was interesting in its own right. But you know what it is. Hey Bara, what's up? I do your thing. You could just lurk. I appreciate you coming through. So yeah, that was that. So this was the best one I've read. Now this might sound strange. I still believe we could take the football manga and anime to the next level. This isn't the one I've been waiting for. This still isn't the soccer series I've been waiting for. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's still good. Now let's start with how do you feel about Ashito making the switch? I loved it. I loved it. So the reason that I love the Switch, I guess we could start there. So Blue Lock is striker focused, right? So everybody in the Blue Lock facility is supposed to be a striker, with their main focus being on goal scoring, right? Isogi's a striker that passes the ball to an open teammate who bottles it. And Jinpachi ego kind of brings up the scenario, and he kind of thinking in his head that maybe if he was greedier, he would have got it in. And that's kind of the general premise to get him into the Blue Lock facility, and I'll come back to that. Ashito starts off as a striker, but he's very similar to Sawamura if you guys like Dino Ace, in the sense that he's a big fish in a small pond. He's got things about him that are unique to him for the most part, that would propel him to be a tremendous football player. But the environment that he's in is not going to foster that level of elite top tier play, because he's playing with a bunch of his friends that just rely on him. The same way Sawamura was the only somewhat competent baseball player on his team, to the point that when he went to Sado, that dude he could bunt well, but he couldn't bat, he couldn't field, he couldn't catch. He had no knowledge. The same way with Ashito. And I think this is a very good premise when a character has like a talent or hidden thing about them physically or mentally they can do, but they haven't cultivated yet, and now they're in an environment where basically ever heard the phrase "steel sharpens steel" or like "iron sharpens iron." I think that's true. This one might be boring, but I had fun with a series called Days. You want to check it out? That was not familiar to me. Like that reminds me of Baby Steps. Like I like Baby Steps, but like the tennis is not that raw. I'm kind of here for the romance story, but remind me because I might forget that. So Ashito starts off as a striker, and even when he goes to like the new facility and stuff, and the new team he's joining, he gets switched to fullback. Now, I personally think he's a central defensive midfielder, right? I think his defense is going to get legitimately better, and he can play make in that role. But unlike Blue Lock, they had to kind of reverse engineer him to not be so greedily fixated on scoring because honestly, he doesn't have the natural skill set to be a great striker. But he has a great skill set to be a great defender and especially playmaker. Initially, I thought the coach was moving him there to teach him about different positions, different places on the pitch to kind of combine his game because I thought for sure they were going to make him a midfielder, but an attacking midfielder for some reason. But I respect putting him in the back. What's up? What's up, Lost? So he's a fullback. He's a playmaking fullback with the ability to kind of come in and score. And he gained a love for being able to dissect the defense and send balls through balls and long balls right to where people need it. Like he enjoys that just as much as maybe just as much if not more than goal scoring, and I love that for him because I was scared for a while if he's like couldn't just score at a whim when he wanted, he wouldn't enjoy the game of football. But he learned that there's so much more to it than just putting the ball in the back of the net. Now, different managers have different philosophies of how to play the game. Some people are like, oh, it's a beautiful game. It's the beautiful game. What's it? Is it why can I don't remember the Brazilian way of saying it, but like they have their different philosophies of how to play like pressing, um, having people play classical roles as the game modernizes and stuff, things change and whatnot. Something like it's a simple game. You put the ball in the back of the net more than the other team and you win. And some of them are like, you gotta have all of these intersecting things firing on all cylinders for it to work. So I'm not here to like rip on Ego Jinpachi's general philosophy, but I am going to kind of tell you where I have issues with it in a second. I don't know too much. I don't know too much about soccer, but Ashito doesn't have the technique and probably will never will, which is why they put him at fullback. There's that too. He's not super technically sound, and a lot of times if you're not the most technical player, they're gonna put you in the back like that. I didn't realize he wasn't that technically sound with trapping and whatnot until that became apparent. But you could also argue that it's not that he's bad at it. It's just that at the level to basically on the way to go pro, because you tend to start going pro for football at around the age of 16. It's not really like, oh, damn, I have to unpack this. Okay, let me remember what you just said. Okay, so I don't lose my spot. Okay, so I always argue the reason that like North America is very bad at football is because most football players are kind of put in facilities, put in training camps, put in like do you guys know what La Masia is for like Barca? It's kind of like a football academy type thing where Messi was before he played for like the junior teams for Barca and then eventually the senior team for Barca with Ronaldinho and Eto and stuff like that. Like he went through those ranks, but he was very young. Ronaldo quit school at like 15 to focus on football. Might be a little earlier when he was in Madeira and he was poor. So it was football or nothing. I can't get my family out of here. We care about education and blah 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 and things of that nature. And by the time we're kind of ready to take the next step, we're usually about 18 plus. That's a little late because a lot of players are really getting it from 4 to like 16, and by the time they're 16, they're at least well known on the junior stage, on the junior World Cup international stage, or something of the sort, which holds them back. So just keep that in mind because it's actually a point that comes up in the manga later with Akutsu, which I love. So we'll get to that. So just wanted to point that out. So now so with that being said, I would just say Ashito is not as technically sound as somebody on the pro level. But if he's playing with like high schoolers or anybody else, he's nicer than them. He's got the technical skill to beat them. And a lot of times, if you don't have somebody kind of really foster that those techniques into you, you'll be behind. I actually could relate to him in that sense. Um, my left foot wasn't good until I was 18, and I was a physical player until I was about 16. I relied way more on my speed and body and athleticism and understanding things like that and instincts before I honed my technical skills like that. So I actually could relate to him in a lot of ways, and that's why I was usually on the back in the backs like that. This title spitting, Ashi clear. Yep. What's up? What are you doing? Who are your favorite characters? Can be both Blue Lock, Ashi. Put a pin in that. I'll answer in a second. Right. So what do I do? So yeah, I like that it's fullback focus. So as somebody who started off as a defender and then ended up being a winger and then became a midfielder, I think my best position is probably attacking or center defensive midfield. But I am fast, so putting me in the wings is always fine. Like I'm very comfortable no matter where you put me on in the pitch. I'm very comfortable with that. And I'm an all rounder in that stance, except keeper. I'm not a good goalie. I suck. I'm ass. For some reason, once you put me in net, I'm afraid of the ball. It's the weirdest thing. I'm like, ah. So don't kick it at me, even though they're not trying to kick it at me, they're kicking it away from me. I don't know what's wrong with me. As soon as I have to play net, I'll be afraid of the ball. Like, don't you blast that fucking shit at me, man. Leave me alone. So yeah. Blue Lock is very striker focused and it's very self centered in terms of the characters are egotistical in nature and they actually don't unpack that, they lean into it. So basically, the more selfish you are in a lot of ways, the better. Ego's Jinpachi's philosophy is essentially that what you have to do is be selfish and be like an egotistical maniac to the point that you're so good and you're not afraid to showcase that because a lot of like American, North American, and other players from Europe and stuff when they do it, they beat their chest. They're like, I'm that nigga, yeah, X, Y, and Z. But like if you notice a lot of really talented Japanese players, they're never really arrogant. They're never showboaty. They kind of embody a lot of Japanese traditions and standards. So they'd be like, oh, like, hi, I'm just very happy to be here at the World Cup um, with my team, and they give you those political correct answer. The ego is like that's holding us back, and I don't. Me knowing what I know about football, I think it's an interesting starting point. I just think he takes it too much to the extreme, and as somebody who loves the game in all aspects, tackling, defense, goalkeeping, all of that, if it's only striker focused, it's kind of boring to me. I think that appeals to casuals. Like it's like with like I think like scoring and like basketball appeals to the more casual people, but the people who really love the game will notice really good defensive schemes and breakdowns and things like that in a game and be like, man, do you see how Caruso has been keeping that player in check? You're not stealing or blocking him or whatever, but he's shooting 16% worse because he keeps angling him to this player. I could do that with football. So for me, if it's just about scoring, it's boring to me. Um, so my favorite character in Al Ashi is Ashito, followed by I actually don't remember the coach's name. If you remember the coach's name, the one who played in La Liga, he'd be my second favorite character. And I can't lie to you guys, I went from hating Akutsu to being like, yo, I respect this guy. Like lay off Ashito and stop being a dickhead to him. But knowing what you come from, your relationship with your mother, and like seeing that relationship come and blossom, those will be my favorite three characters. I did not like him at first. Tripone, I think his name is. He's pretty dope too. I like him. Um, I do think in a lot of ways he bodies the super like loyal minority trope a little bit, but it is what it is. That's fine. I don't expect Japan to know any better. It's cool, but when he put the fear of God being at like the true top tier, top flight professional level in Ashito, that shit was crazy. That moved me. He said, "Bro, how did he score? How did he score that? How?" And he just broke down. That was beautiful. That was really good. For you, it goes Ashito, Kurabashi, and Akutsu. Uh, Kuribayashi is cool. He's kind of like an oddball, so I think I like the other Eagle Eye player a little bit more than him, but he's cool. I don't have any problem with him. I wish I remember the female character's name. I'm so sorry. I like the girl who wants to be a manager just a bit more than the other girl who wants to be like a doctor, kinesthetic, whatever. But they're both good characters, and I love how they support Ashito in their own ways. It means a lot to me. I think it's super dope. Yoshitsune honorable mention. I respect that. What's the guy whose hair is like kind of like spiky in the middle and he styles it a certain way and he's always like when that one girl comes Tachibana's sister, he'd be like, hey, what's going on, babe, like how you doing, like we about to go, like that guy. And he's like very calm and composed and technical, and I like him. He's one of my favorite characters. He grew on me too. Hanan Anari Otomo, there you go. I like him too. So y'all gonna have to carry me with names, so they're super dope. Yeah, Hannah and Henry are dope. I like them a lot too. I like the mother. Um, well, we can just kind of get into the next thing I'll talk to. So I think that all sports series come in different shapes and sizes. Some of them literally just focus on the games, just sport, the sport, the sport. Nothing else matters. Some of them really, really show you training and working your way up, Dino Ace, High Q, and stuff like that, where there's a lot of matches. Don't get it wrong, but there's a lot of training. A lot of training for specific teams and scheming against them and stuff like that. And I think that some are fantastical and supernatural, some are realistic. I don't think there is inherently anything right or wrong about either. I'll speak for myself on this. The more I've played and understand the sport, the more I'm probably gonna want it to be realistic. But I'm cool with it being over the top, like a Kuroko or like the Prince of Tennis, even to the point where it's really like the game is relatively normal, but you add what I call anime science. Like if I hit the ball with this much top spin, do I believe that if it hit the ground, it would just roll? Sure, I'll give that to you. It won't bounce. So that's like for everybody has to temper that for themselves. I don't hate Blue Lock for being over the top fake. Like you can't do the shit that they're doing in that manga. It's really the dialogue that gets me. It kind of hurts. So the Atomo system chapter was hilarious. Ha! I remember that. So, Blue Lock, my issue in a lot of ways is that it just focuses on not even and think about it. It doesn't even focus on just like the game. It's football, right? But they're like locked in a dungeon, forced to play all these little like mini games and this and that and the third. Where I'm like, man, I really think this manga could benefit from having a proper like 90-minute official match. And when I got that, I that's the most I've enjoyed Blue Lock. Rin's tongue hanging out, being like devour, kill my brother wasn't moving me. I'm gonna get to Barrow when I get to him. I cannot stand that guy. I think he's an absolute clown. Him stealing the ball and whatever. I get it, bro. I know they're locked in the facility. Yeah, I get it. But my point is, I want to see the beautiful game, not just like these 4-on-4s and playing against holograms and fake keepers and whatever. It just doesn't move me in that degree. And then having strikers being keeper and strikers being in mid in like defense is like, I don't know, but I always will say I understand the appeal of this. To me, this is kind of like Kuroko, but not as fun or not as cool. But now let me go to but that being said, I get the appeal and it's cool that they focus on it. But I like Ao Ashi so much more because I think it does the thing that matters the most to me. It focuses on the sport. So football is the main focus. Not just the game, the football, the training, coaching, going up from high school to junior youth to team B to team A to being called up, all of that's great. But there's all the ancillary outside things that have a trickle down and intersect with all of those other variable that main variable that make Aoashi way better than me. He doesn't come from a lot of money. He had worn out cleats that Akutsu kind of ragged him for, and his mom worked extra hard to give him that those new cleats. His brother worked extra time part time to give him money to pay for the tryout so he could even attempt to play for Esprion. Right? I like that kind of stuff. And that motivates him more to want to be a professional because he wants to get his family out of the rut that they're in, but he also has to learn like, yo, going pro is not some I just want to do it. Yeah, I'm sports MC. He's like, this shit's hard. It takes hard work, dedication, mental fortitude, and belief in yourself like you wouldn't believe. And people are gonna hate on you like a kutsu and try to get you out the paint from the jump. And I admire that. There's even a love component with Anari and Hannah. And it's not like a tickle, not tickle butt romance. Like they've admitted to him that they like him. I like that. That's those things could have an effect on him when he's playing a game if he's worried about the last conversation he's had with Hannah or her moving to Barcelona or Spain to learn Spanish and stuff like that. That these are I think those are the moving parts around the central focus of the game that elevate sports manga to me to like the upper echelon. Bulak is so comical. The dialogue is so funny with how serious they take it. Devour, kill, kill. I knew Ashi was the one when his mom gave him them boots. Yeah, and he has a pretty awkward relationship with his mom too, right? So that stuff is and seeing him navigate and have to be a little bit socially calibrated to even talk and deal with girls and women and stuff like that. It's been fun to see. So I think that stuff's all important. I said this in another stream, but I want to bring this up again. I think a lot of these series really will really benefit and take off into the stratosphere with a relationship with the main character and somebody else, whether it's adversarial, kind of a rivalry, starts off adversarial, ends up being more amicable, whatever the case may be. I think that's very important. I say that basically like my biggest example in my head is Chris Senpai and Agent Sawamura from Diano Ace. How that starts off, he's just like, yeah, you gotta pitch, you gotta do your thing, you gotta do it like this, blah blah. And he's like, man, I ain't gonna be like you. You trash, you suck, all these unga bunga inga dinga. And he's like, yeah, don't end up like me. Then he tells Miyuki, that guy's trash. And Miyuki's like, bro, do you know who that is? You know what he's been through? And then he sees that he's in rehab for the torn rotator cuff. And Samura breaks down and he apologizes and he 180s to the point he's going overboard trying to get his affection. Like, Chris Senpai, here's some rice. I packed it to the top. And he's like, I'm gonna eat it, but leave me alone, bro. Like, I think these series really benefit from the good like that. I think Kagami Kuroko doesn't work. Um, I think the Golden Pair maybe in like Prince of Tennis. Prince of Tennis probably didn't need that to succeed, but I think your series is gonna be really good if you have stuff like that. I did not expect the relationship of Ashito and Akutsu to go down the arc that it did. From it's not even forget adversarial. Akutsu is a prime time hater. Oh my goodness, he be hating, bro. He came with like he like 20, this kid's like 15 with like the elbow drop on him when he first came to Esperion. Quit. You suck. You talentless. Get off the fucking roster. Then he makes it a team B. You're still here? You still didn't quit? I thought you would have quit once they put you to fullback because you're stupid, you're dumb, and you got no money. Like just cooking him. Every finds every single reason to bash him. Like he is a prime time hater. Like I'm impressed. Like I could learn a thing or two from him. I'm a elite SS rank hater, but I could learn some things from him. But at the time, I didn't know his character motivations in his background, but I still didn't like him. And seeing how slowly and surely, and don't get it twisted, they're not like buddy friends like Akutsu, Ashito, yeah. But you could understand that Akutsu understands what it is he's good at, what that brings to the team, and now that Akutsu has has to shoulder the responsibility of having a captain armband, he's got to take certain things seriously. I love when the coach bars him up because he's like, "Did he was like, why didn't you help him? Like, what do you mean? Like, yo, you saw that he was messing up, breaking down. You could have directed him." And he's like, "Why didn't you fucking do it? Yo, you want me to put you on the bench and you'll never play again?" I like, yo, talk to him. What is good with him? He saw that he was having a mental breakdown mid game, and you didn't basically you didn't help him. You didn't help your own teammate. You didn't encourage him. You're a piece of shit teammate. I think that is where the paradigm shift started. To the point, like he's like, "You idiot! You're the only person who can do this. Now go goddamn use your eagle eyes to like pass the ball and do what you got to do." And I like that. And then they started having their little sessions talking about defense, formation, shifting, moving, not being out of position. When you go up to attack, you go all attack. But if you're going to be back to defend, you're all defense. I love how that comes full circle. I'm very excited to see where it goes. And you add to the fact that Kakutsu. Oh yeah, I want to get to this. This is very important. This is a super dope point that is brought up here, because depending on where you come from in the world, because you guys know that football is the most important, the most famous, popular sport on in the globe, on the globe. Wow, what's wrong with me today? On Earth, a lot of these Brazilian players and like players from like certain places, they really don't come from anything. All they have is like they don't get to eat well, and football is the only joy they have. So they're just playing it on the street all the time, and their talent in football is what is their key out of poverty, is their key out of there. In Japan, that's not that hunger isn't there in that sense. But Akutsu went through a situation where that hunger was instilled to him because his mom was just a whore, just fucking around, not doing anything, not taking care of him, just going off with this man, that man, this man, the other man, paying him no mind. He's not really eating. His house is full of absolute garbage. just not like garbage. I mean literal trash, like uneaten food and throwing out stuff. And and because somebody gave him a chance, his only ticket out of that hellhole and to getting out of poverty was to go professional in football, which mirrors like a Ronaldo, mirrors like a lot of Brazilian players that were up and coming. And I'm like, I understand him so much better now, and I'm grateful for like, I liked that I hated him, and you made me come around on him. Can't say I like him, but I respect him, and he's one of my favorite characters. And that is how you do a brilliant character arc. And that relationship, I want to see where it goes because I'm sure at some point she's going to be a better defender than him. So it's super dope. You said just like Noah. let's get to let's go back to Blue Lock for a second now. Okay, so Blue Lock doesn't have any of that. Any of that. I would argue, and maybe you guys can tell me another one if you think. I think Rio and Nagy are probably the closest thing to like a meaningful duo in the series where they kind of like each other to kind of get along and they have like rapport and history and stuff like that. But I don't think Asogi really has that with anybody. You could say he has a synergy and affinity, and he's in competition with Block Z, but there's no such relationship in Blue Lock, and I think it would benefit a lot from that. Like, you ever think about the fact that these parents just had their kid not go to school and get locked in this facility? Like, no parents aren't worried. I guess Rin and his brother could be another one if you want, but like I think that series would benefit a bit more from those other things. But let me tell you how they circumvent a lot of those like I guess other issues because it is a different series and its presentation is different. Because I don't want to just poop on Blue Lock because there's other things that Blue Lock does that I actually like. And I'll give you one in terms of general aesthetics of the game and how things look. I think Blue Lock is cooler. And I really like when Asogi is thinking and those puzzle pieces are flying around when he's using his mind's eye, whatever. I think the way they panel it with the puzzle and like we get like the last piece in his brain to see it, I think that's super dope. I really like that. Like it looks really good. It's very flashy, very well drawn. And Nagi's traps be going stupid. This is a series that a lot of characters kind of get eliminated, kicked out, and they gotta go and shit like that. As a result of that, I think they have to go up and up beyond and above to make every character stand out in a meaningful fashion. Thus, they all have over the top personalities that are exaggerated. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing inherently wrong, bad or good or bad about that. It's all about how you use it. So you have like the pretty boy, the muscle, the oh my god, I'm so shy, please don't look at me, oh my god, like all those types of personality archetypes to like help them be memorable in case you don't really see them often or they get kicked out or eliminated. That is how they circumvented a lot of these things because they're not going to get a chance to be like me and you together all the way to the end of Blue Lock because we're going to become adversaries and this is a series that feeds into selfishness, not selflessness, right? So um, the U20 match was fun. I think that's the best part of Blue Lock. Isagi, shut up, genius. I'm about to go get to the good part. Yeah, the puzzle pieces are great. Isagi and Bachiru. I think that's Dribbler Merchant. I think that's probably fair, but yeah, and they start off with like together. They eliminate the jewel of Japan or whatever. So you can do that, but now you're getting ready to keep me coming back to the manga. All right, fair enough. So that's kind of I don't think they really have one that's really meaningful and impactful, but maybe there's like there's some more superficial stuff there. But as far as characters go, I think the ones in Ao Ashi are much better, well rounded, and more interesting to me. But I don't think because characters are dynamic and other ones are more static in nature that makes them inherently good or bad. Like sometimes people are like, oh, this character's not good because they didn't develop, and I'm like, but what if they're a static character? They're not meant to do that. And if they have a flat character arc. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not doing that thing where I'm trying to say like one's better than the other, but yeah. I also really enjoyed their version of the zone, the flow. Yeah, makes sense to me. And isn't easily usability. Zone and Kuroko and flow and stuff like that. I've always like liked it. Like they make it a power up, but like the concept of being very locked in and focused, and you're not thinking and you're just doing everything. The eternal Tao, law of reverse effort, blah blah blah. Like that's real. So I like that. Totally agree. I feel you. So um yeah, Blue Lock's style of presenting characters and character interpersonal relationships is just different, And now let's kind of talk about now. I want to talk about some overlap where I believe that they have a lot of similarities. I actually think Ashito and Asogi are similar in the sense that they're not physical specimens in terms of power, speed, explosiveness, agility, resiliency, like all those things. And they're cerebral. They're constantly thinking. Well, I say cerebral, like Ashito was not smart in a general sense, but he's thinking a lot when he's playing nowadays, especially since he's got in the right environment. He's got the eagle eye, which allows him to see basically the entire pitch and know where everyone is and their movements and where they're going to be, and he always knows where to make the right passes and stuff. The same way the mind's eye and the puzzle pieces and stuff, the Sogi's flying around, where they use their mental fortitude and I guess you could see their vision, their scope of the field, and play reading and making ability to dominate or be good. And I like that. That's where they overlap in my opinion. Okay, I'm finally buying the I'm finally buying the game knowledge. Eagle Eye's a real thing though, like which savage stuff is real. Well, the thing is the thing is I think when they explain it where like they somehow have a bird's eye view. Obviously I don't have that, so I can't say that. I will say that's probably a little supernatural. But yes, they talk about the test where I can't remember exactly what it is what Xavi did. He looked at something and like he was able to recount everything and he has like eidetic photographic memory. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that Ashito has. I don't know if I've never known for sure that these are different things, but I think they are. I think he has eidetic and photographic memory. I think because I think there's a test with Togashi where he's like the three signs in Shibuya or whatever. What's on them and what color? And he's like, I don't fucking know. And Ashito's like red, blue, green. This is the Pepsi one. This is this one. This is that one. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. So photographic, okay. I don't know if eidetic's different, but it's interesting to think about. But the game knowledge part of Ashito and stuff is cool. I never knew the bird's eye view thing was a real. That's a real because it sounds like when people say they can taste the music, like those super geniuses and people who could like, yo, I could taste the music. When I play by piano, I can see music. I'm like, see music? What is he talking about? I don't have that ability. Um, I'm a really good ball distributor and I'm a good playmaker and stuff, but I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have the mind's eye. I also don't think that much. I play on intuition and instinct a lot more. But that's one of the overlaps that I think that they have the main character's kind of way of playing the game and the way they think about stuff. I'll actually grade on Blue Lock is showing ball. That's what I was talking about. I agree. I agree. I agree. I think Blue Lock just appeals to kind of like the more casual audience in a sense, or people who don't really care about football but they want something kind of cool that's related to football. I get it, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at its existence. It's fine. But there's another overlap that I had that I want to talk about, but for some reason it's not coming to me. But um I guess I'll just go back to the contrasting stuff. 'Cause I want to get to this because I think this is interesting about the two about the two series when you talk about them. So I'm caught up to both. Yes, I'm all the way caught up to both. In the manga, I literally even just I even am caught up to the Nagi side story when it starts out with him and Rio in Blue Lock. I'm talking about in the school and he traps the phone and they start playing before they get into the facility. But I'm caught up on both all the way. So the thing that I like the most about these two, I guess okay. Actually, I remember where I wanted to go now. There's a commonality where both of these manga talk about like the Bundesliga, La Liga, like the English Premier League or Liga and Serie A and like stuff like that, and they reference real players like Xavi, Iniesta, I believe was referenced, Cristiano Ronaldo, and other ones. We all know that Kylian Mbappe, Julian Loki is like literally in Blue Lock and stuff. But so you saw Protagonism Masterpiece, yeah. Those Triathlon on series. I saw everything, bro. I saw everything. I'm caught up, man. I'm all the way. They both talk about it, but Al Ashi kind of does it better, in my opinion, and they also does it in a way that I think like if you don't know much about football, you could learn a lot from this manga. Especially if you're like, what is that true? You can fact check it. I think you learn a lot more because I think this manga embodies a lot more of the pathway to becoming a professional in terms of playing in youth, having to play for a B squad, then going to an A squad, getting called up. You get called up, you get a taste of that next level, and it's like, hey man, like we'll call you back up if the situation is right or whatever, but go back down and polish your skills more. The fact that Esprion plays in like a more like traditional league in a sense. You have your 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, 0 for a loss, and if you're the top of the chart by the end of the season, you lift the silverware. I like that. Like I said, Blue Lock is more focused on small little mini games and psychological games to make players more selfish and more goal hungry, I suppose. Where Al Ashley doesn't do that, and I like that. I think you could learn a lot, and you also see a lot. They both have foreign players, but you even see foreign players on Japanese soil playing for the professional teams. Like I think there's a Croatian and stuff like that. We know Tripone. I think he's actually like half Japanese too, but still, and his bro like that was really dope. So that's cool. So you're fully locked in, yeah. I'm I really love Shiba and his entire role. hmm Especially how he essentially raised all of Esperion. Yeah, that's really that's a 40-year player. Yes, I like him a lot too. Yes, they're half Nippon, half glorious Nippon Japanese steel. So that is something I like about Al Ashiel. I think you could learn a lot because I just think like then like this is more in line with like I think more realistic things about football more than like the fantastical parts. But I like that they both still have like they still talk about like real players and things of that nature. Super cool. Even though Noel Noah is supposed to be better than Ronaldo and Messi, I'm like gap. Anywho, so what was the next thing I wanted to say? Blue Lock is more of a crazy training camp for strikers. Yeah, I would. There's a possibility that they still play more official games. I would like to see that, but yeah, that's what it is. It's like striker boot camp. Sacrifice 299. Let's talk about the philosophies of these mangas because this is where I think their contrast is the most interesting. They're both like the antithesis to one another. Blue Lock is about selfishness, egotistical play, and scoring goals where Al actually is about selfless play. Not there's nothing wrong with having self-confidence, being a little arrogant and believing what you can do, but never at the detriment of the team. And to highlight this point, I'm about to cook the worst character in Blue Lock. He is the worst player. I know we decided he was second worst. I'm still gonna say worst player in Blue Lock, and that is the guy who called himself the King. Barou. Barou. That's gotta be the most retarded nigga I've ever seen in my life that play football. Oh my god, he's stupid. Oh my god, he stinks. Oh my god, why does he think he's that dude? What is the reason? Yo, scoring 10 goals to lose and get kicked out is not the way. If you gotta score 6 to win, okay. But this guy sucks. He's so ass. Charge dribble? Bro, how many times has he run to somebody with a character with his build and he's like, ow, I can't move him. Why is he he sucks. Why is he so cocky? He's trash. I've seen so many people stop him. He went up against Ishigo. Sorry, I remember his name. He went in the room, the wild card room, and then he came out. I'm the new Noel Noah ambidextrous feet. That was stupid, by the way. Yeah. He goes, oh, there's a guy who's like, I'm shy. I don't know. He's like, oh, how strong was this guy's body? I'm like, this guy runs into somebody with a remotely athletic build and he can't body him. Charge dribble. Oh, this is my radius. He stinks. He's so fucking ass, and I can't believe he's still here thriving. I don't respect it. And here's the next thing too. They did the Byakuya thing. I laugh. One of my favorite parts of the Fullbring arc, which is a comedy. If you don't see the Fullbring arc for the comedic genius that it is in Bleach, I just don't know what to tell you. Remember the Book of the End, Tsukishima, the guy who can insert himself into your past. So remember when Byakuya he used the like no whatever zone. He grabbed his own blade pedals and chucked it through his chest, and they tried to act like it was actually such a genius move because as an elegant noble of one of the four houses, for him to stoop to such a strategy, I'm like, if you guys don't get that bullshit the fuck out my face. Talk about it's actually so genius because he wouldn't do that. Miss me with that. They do something similar with Barrow, where it's like he's so stupid about how he plays the fucking game. I don't know why I said to myself, they're the fucking game by like stealing the ball they use that to their advantage because it throws off the other team. Are we serious? This is what we're doing? Wait, what? His own teammate? But it's like, damn it, he devoured him, but they didn't. Yo, get that shit the entire fuck out my face. Don't ever do that shit. Don't ever put that shit in my face again. It is ass. Garbage. Burrow is not good. That you if you're gonna be if you're gonna be like that selfish, you better be like Holland levels or Ronaldo the phenomenal levels of prolific. If not, shut up. No, anywho, I'm gonna calm down because I got more bars for him. I'll be back later for him. But anyways, um, let me see. One thing I like about Blue Lock is he plays like Messi is a symbol of selfishness, but Messi isn't a selfish player as far as I know. He doesn't usually have some assists in the seasons. Well, I'm gonna comment that in a second, but I think the point is that even though his ego isn't like Ronaldo, like see, he has extreme self competence and an ego. He does have a ego, but he's not an unselfish player. I totally agree with that. That is correct. They're playing in the U20s probably after this current arc. I like that. The Donkey Borrow top on the rankings right now. He's not better than Rin. He's not better than Demon Kun, but we'll talk about that. Nagy currently also top five. He's the fake genius, but I get it. Hayes Naya Shito equal Nico IMO. Even their hair is similar. That could be a more apt comparison. Like he was talking about I think Nico's the guy who's like hair is kind of covering himself. All I'm saying is Messi got too many assists to be a paragon of selfishness. Oh, I get that. I get that. I get that. That's fair. Where was I? Philosophy of Blue Lock for me now is worthless because it emphasizes Japan lost in 2018, where that philosophy is impossible to work in modern football. If it was the older 80s, 90s, or 2000s, in theory, it's possible. That's why the classic tens like Raquelme existed. Now the position is gone because of the place. So yeah, because we talk about false tens, of false tens, false nines, a classic nine. Like the modern game has changed a lot to the point that you, even as a striker, you can't just unless you're like insanely out this world prolific and that team is going to cater to that. You still got to press. You still got to drop back. So you're totally right. Blue Lock is all right to me, but I absolutely hate when the teammates play against each other, like Kaiser and Isagi. Yes, Kaiser's not the bozo, by the way. I don't like him. Sometimes characters don't think good, like that one time Rin scored on a free kick and a corner kick, and Isagi couldn't figure out that dude who likened football to a battlefield with the best kicking technique would try scoring. Think more. Yeah, I hear you. So, okay, what was I saying before I was talking about Barrow stinking up the place? Okay, so I'm talking about the kind of philosophies of both manga, right? So Ashito gets kind of rewired to not be so goal scoring oriented and selfish in that nature where you will leave the defense open, blah blah yada yada. I like that. It emphasizes team play and whatnot, but there's nothing wrong with you being really good at your role and want to excel it to the best of your ability. Now I want to talk about ego for a second, Jinpachi. Because in a lot of ways, I still think the general baseline premise for building up the blue lock kind of mindset is interesting. When I think about Japan on an international stage, what how Japanese people tend to be in terms of meekness and it's not me being distant by them. I'm not trying to diss them. Being more meek and reserved and hi, I'm just happy to be here at the World Cup. Thank you for having us. We're very proud of blah blah. But if you see like someone else, you'd be like, I'm the GOAT. You see that shit? Yeah, like like they're not like that. So I'm like, it's interesting to think about, but he just takes it way too far and it's illogical. And me and Miles and other people have talked about like, so wait a minute, if I'm the second best player in Blue Lock, you're not gonna, I'm not gonna be on the team. You're gonna have some other bum ass striker there. And then I think I can't remember who brought up the point. Like, what if he gets injured? What if you do all that for the Blue Lock like champion to get injured? But anywho, my ego myself as a football player, I think is in a weird way is greedier than the people in Blue Lock. I started off as a defender. I could play anywhere on the pitch except goalkeeper. I think I said it earlier, but I started off as a defender. That's where I started. Um, left. No, I was on the right more often than not. Then center. Back in the day, we used to have something called a sweeper, who always stayed back no matter what. If you didn't play an offside traps, I used to play sweeper sometimes. So three of my defenders would push up to like the middle, and I'd be behind them in the middle. So I played sweeper before. Then I basically long story short, I evolved into a midfielder that's more defensive oriented. I could score. The goal scoring isn't my natural thing. It's more so playmaking. Now, that being said, sorry. Doesn't matter because the core of the series is supposed to be like, maybe drop it. This year's Man City is a perfect example of Holland not working unless you cater the system too for him. Yeah, he's very prolific, but if you're not gonna like make him the center focus because he is seen as more. I think someone said Fox in the box. I have to see him play more to know that, but he does score pretty close to the net more often than not. He's very prolific in front of there. He's clinical, but yeah, it's hard because City had to change a lot of the stuff they had to do. Now, I love that meme with the cat with Kevin De Bruyne pass, Erling Haaland header. I love that meme, but I'm with you on there. I'm with you on that, Jackal. What was I saying? What was I saying? Ego, Japachi, egoism. Okay, if I was in Blue Lock, I probably wouldn't be here, and I'd probably just leave. And I'd be interested in him a little bit, but I'd probably be like, I'm greedy. I'm so greedy that I want to see myself personally on the top of every chart. That's kilometers ran, goals scored, assists, passing into like the attack, into progressive passes into the attacking third, tackles, 1-on-ones. People time I beat one. People I beat 1-on-1. Game time, efficiency. Um, he doesn't need he doesn't need 10 shots for one goal, stuff like that. Like he doesn't lose the ball. He's not careless. He's very mentally tough. You know, I want to be at the top of every chart, not just goal scoring, assist, tackles, all of that. So I'm almost like looking at ego like you might not be going far enough for me. I don't just want to score goals. I'm out of here, bro. I'm trying to score goals. I'm trying to drop dimes, and I like being the brain of the team, breaking them down, keeping them, shutting out other players that think they're nice, and then sending the ball right to my strikers in the right position. I enjoy that way more than I enjoy scoring. I In a weird way, I'm completely flipped with basketball and soccer. Not that I'm like a hooper in that sense, but like in when I hoop, I'm a scorer before I'm anything else, and that's the thing I like to do the most: score and rebound. In football, that's not the case. I like to defend a lot of football too. Holland did not have a couple of great assists this season. I think he might turn great in a couple of years with Pep. He might need some time. How old is he? Like 22, right? Holland's like 22, right? I think he's 2 years younger than Mbappe and whatnot. I think he's good. I don't dislike him or anything. He's a pressing poacher who works insane in transition. Problem this year, he has to adapt to low blocks. That's true. 'Cause I do think he comes back a bit more. Because Mbappe, for what I've seen, he doesn't really track back very far. He kind of just focuses completely on offense and whatnot. But Holland's good, man. I like him. He's good. It's just not that sexy to me. It's not sexy, but it's damn, it's effective. But he's gonna be good, man. But I'm on the Mbappe side. Y'all know I like Kiki. It's my boy. Okay, so the philosophy. So yeah. Anyways, Al actually preaches more teamwork and selflessness, and even an egoist chapter where they kind of unwind someone's ego a little bit, while Blue Lock leads into it, and that's why I think that ultimately, from top to bottom, they're so interesting to me to compare, and I like seeing the comment sections I was seeing them talking about it. Oh, actually, so fucking boring. How could you read this stuff? I'm like, I don't have a horse in this race. I don't care what you think necessarily, but I'm gonna watch the anime for them too and see if I like how they're animated. Cause I did also watch the Eren Okishi anime. I think there's an anime for that. I don't think it got far, but I think I watched that. Because for most sports manga, like I'll watch the anime too, like Haikyuu and stuff. Mbappe has 3 times less defensive action than Messi, and Messi barely press or do any defensive work. Yeah, Mbappe doesn't really play defense like that. Messi's a different. I've seen Messi play it like from the kind of attacking midfielder and drop back and bring the ball up to be more of a classical nine, to being on the wings. Like him and Ronaldo and some other players have evolved a lot in very menial ways if you kind of watch them. From when Messi was wearing what? What he? I always forget. Was it? He wore 19, 10, then 30. I think if I remember correctly. Pep's gonna mold him into a better Lewandowski. It's the same when he came to Bayern with Louis for Ashito. I love how they actually make him into an introverted wingback, which is what I like to see in a football manager. Football manager, yeah, because like you said, you missed a whole hour. Yeah, man, you did. I'm sorry, but yeah, it was beautiful to me because at first I don't know if you thought this, Jocko. I thought the coach was like playing mind games with him, maybe to think like the same way Shogun or Boss from like Daya would like test you like, do you really want to pitch? Do you want to play something else? Like no, like to test your resolve, like how badly do you want this specific role as a catcher or as a pitcher or whatever. So I thought him telling him switching to fullback might have been like a mind game thing, or to teach him all aspects of the field to eventually make him a playmaker. But I actually like him being a fullback. So that's super dope. 30, 19, 10 in Barca, now 30 in PSG. She. What's your favorite match now, Ashi? Mine would have to be the one against Kitano Ren and Amori. Is Kitano Ren the other under 16 like super dude with the eagle eye himself? Cause that's a really good match. But I like the one with Tripone and his brother, where Ashito kind of has that breakdown when he gets that incredible goal when he's being marked, and he's like, "Bro, what? How did he score that? This is the top." And I think that's the game where he was trying to grasp something. He was saying like, "I almost have it. Like whatever I'm missing is it's here. Like I'm trying to get it." That was my favorite match. That was really good. That's the one that moved me the most. Yeah, those are top two for you. Yeah, that one was crazy, man. Because even when he scored that, I said, if you scored that on me, like I don't have mental breakdowns like that, but I'd have been like, what the fuck? Like I have to look at you like I have to destroy him. I have to devour. I have to devour him. So yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really wanted to say. Supporting characters I think are more interesting in Ashi. I like them a lot. I like the team a lot. Blue Lock is not as far, I guess, so there's still more they can do, but I still like the other ancillary things in Ashi, like Hannah and Annery and his mom and his brother, and the fact that the coach actually played in La Liga, and we get to learn why Thing knows Spanish. I think Hannah knows a bit of Spanish, why he knows Spanish, and also why he could why what the hell was oh yeah, and talking about like the culture shocks and things that happen as a Japanese player. It's super dope because like it's like you go to Spain from Japan, it's culture shock. Those guys do not play around with their football. They're like, yo, you're just stealing money from our squad. Get the fuck out of here and go back to Nippon. Type beat. They're like that. I don't think people really understand how unhinged football fans really are across the globe. Part of the reason why I don't really mess with them. I'm like, you guys are actually insane. Like just straight up start fist fighting in the bleachers. Like, are you good? Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not unhinged like that. I'm not saying I'm not unhinged, but not like that. He grasped in the Amori match when it's also my favorite. Something about Ashita moving towards the middle moves me tremendously. When he's going up to attack, I like it every time, and I like when he gets the chance to score too. Because when he got scored those two goals, and he was starting to become that dude. It was great, man. I love it. Ryuma is great. You'd look at him like the guy said you had to escape from the citation speed. Exactly. Sadabel in Primera is a retcon, but I see why he do it. I hear you. Sorry. Let me just go into my memory archives and make sure I'm not forgetting anything that I wanted to mention before I kind of just go off topic and we just talk about whatever at this point. But I wanted to contrast and compare these two a lot because I think there's a lot of interesting things about them both being kind of coming around similar times and them being football oriented, them having main characters that focus on kind of like using their playmaking and ability to read the game and vision in order to whatever. But I could talk about some of my favorite character for a long time in Blue Lock was Ego, but I end up liking the dark skinned dude with the horns who played with Rin's brother on the U20 team. I call him Demon Kun, the one who got electric shock. He's probably my favorite. Then I'd probably go with I think somebody reminded me of Olivier, the defender from the U20 team. I like him. He's cool. I like Dribbler Kun, Dribbler Merchant, but Chido, he's I. Then the Speed Merchant, the princess, red hair princess. I'd probably put him next. I don't like Ichigo, but low key, it's low key, cause yo, it's Kylian Mbappe, bro. He played for PXG, bro. What you know about PXG though? And God Sprint. I'm a pace merchant. I love fast niggas. Okay, that's why Gareth Bale let me down. I thought Gareth Bale was gonna be the one. So
イエーイ
I mean,
お兄ちゃん
cool.
ピース
Thank you for the
ピース
subscription, my boy. been here for 27 months. Jesus Christ. I appreciate you, man. I don't know that was so tiny, but yeah. Yes, sir. I could my vote. Yeah. If I had to build an actual team based off Blue Lock players, how am I doing it? Oh, that's interesting. That's content. I like that. Um, I'd probably still do the thing where like I think. Oh, before I forget, I like that they actually coach in Al Ashi. One thing that I notice with a lot of sports is they don't be coaching like that. They don't be coming up with schemes mid game to counter schemes and stuff like that. I like that they actually coach in that. I think Ego, when he was coaching Blue Lock, he kind of like did the generic like I would make some subs and whatever, and he didn't really like whatever. But I like that they actually coach. But yeah, I'd probably do the things where I have to assess like what's his name, Gagamaru, the weirdly athletic acrobatic guy. Like, and keepers are usually very tall, like 6'6" and above type beat. So like yeah, like I'd probably just assess them like that by their skill set and put them where they need to be. If you're like maybe big and fast and strong but not super technically sound, like the number 3 guy who's like very shy, I'll probably put him as a defender because he can stay on you and you can't really lose him. So I'd probably build my team in that sense. But all I know is my leading striker would be Demon Kun. Demon Kun would be my like poacher, fox in the box, classic 9, false 9, whatever. I probably have him there because he's the one there. So yeah, the second half in Mori was a masterclass with coaching. Absolutely, they brought a step up from random Liverpool and Watford game to show off the defensive tactics. I was hollering. Oh yes, I remember. That's what it was. That's what it was. Absolutely, I forgot they did that. 'Cause we were talking about Klopp and his pressing and stuff. Yes, absolutely. I'm not a huge soccer guy, so I was shocked when the keeper moved up that far. There are some like Jacko, if I'm off on this, you can steer me this way because keepers weren't something I paid attention to for a lot for a long time. He's a Liverpool fan. That's just unfortunate. Um, he's from the UK actually. Is he from there? I always forget he's actually like he's not a real American. He's faking the funk. I say real American like I'm American. I'm not American, but damn, yeah, yeah. I totally lost what my train of thought was. I think Watford. Yeah, that was funny to me. And oh yes, keepers back in the day didn't have to be technically sound like that. They just had to be good at saving and whatnot, and maybe have a big kick. But now they're taught to be a lot more technically sound because they're gonna have to pass back, and sometimes you get like very specific keepers who have a dope skill set. Like some of them might actually be a free kick long ball specialist. I don't remember the dude's name who was like really over the top with the scorpion kick and he did the most. He like made goalkeeping fun and flashy. But sometimes some of them are good enough. They can, especially if you're like losing. Let's say it's like the 90th minute. You have 6 minutes of stoppage time. The keeper will go up sometimes, and you'll play a legitimate 11 in the offensive attacking half of your opponent's team. So that's not unusual. It's not unusual. It happens sometimes. I've even my keepers have sometimes when we're like down 1 goal and the game's getting close, comes up way further. And some keepers generally like to be out the box and be more involved in the game from a technical standpoint. So now until Pep for real. Now Neuer is the first and only original sweeper keeper. There you go. There you go. Now I really also want to move when glasses man with the blindness started talking ish about how only God gives you what you can handle while trying Isagi with his hopium ass. I was so happy he failed utterly because nothing good would have come from him succeeding. I was so sure they're gonna borrow him to succeed, but like, no, get him, like, kick him out the facility. He's not the guy. He's blind. He can't see. This guy cannot become the GOAT. I was tremendous. Hold on, let me drop the emoji. I was tremendously unmoved. Yeah, I like the. I won't lie to you. The glasses guy because I'm a pace merchant who has really good acceleration, but not a great as a top speed as the princess. He's stupid. He'll say like, "Oh yes, I have to defeat my onions." Did I say that right? Did you mean opponents? Yeah, I had to ascertain. Did you mean ascertain? Like he's like not smart. I like him. He's funny too. So I'm happy that I've actually like I can't like I think Giant Killing was the last football manga I read and had any type of fun with. So I'm glad that I have Ao Ashi right now, man. I am I'm here for it. Excited to see where it's gonna go, and I want to see when he. I hope he eventually gets called up to play in the international stage. I'm very excited for that, and I wonder if Ashito will leave Japan to play pro at some point. I could see that series going like both 600 chapters, all things considered. So it could be a long series, but um, thank you to everybody who kept kind of pushing me to like read these. I I always say I thought Ao Ashi and Blue Lock were actually the same series because for a long time I know Ao means blue. I really learned that from Kuroko with Ao, Aomine, Mura for purple, and Murasaki Bar and stuff like that. But I thought Blue Lock was just the Japanese name for Ao Ashi for a long time. But I'm happy I read both. And Ao Ashi is the best football manga that I've ever read, and that video will come out at some point. Let me see now. Oh, it really is entering finals. Oh, never mind that. Now keepers took the sweeping role because of the hyper pressing system. They need to be technically sound to keep possession. Guys like Neuer, Stengen, and EPL watches Ederson and Ramsdale come to mind. No, it's you're right, and it's something that I notice a lot more because I'm openly transparent that like the older I got and the more busy I had with things. The thing one thing that I gave up quickly was watching sports. Now I've always loved football on the international stage, so I'm always gonna watch Euros. I'm always gonna watch Olympics. I always watch like Copa America and stuff like that. And why I watched like the World Cup, but I would say 2018 seriously. No. What year did Ronaldo go to Juventus? 2018, 2019 when he went to Serie A. That's like the last season I really kind of looked at it, and I've seen how much the game has modernized since then. So I am actually playing a little bit of catch up. It's the same thing with the NBA. Like I'm from like the 2000s era of like in out, you bang it low, mid range, long twos, whatever the case is. So when I stopped paying attention and came back, and I'm like, why do you guys just chuck in threes? I have to play a little bit of catch up. So I am low key doing that, but I have noticed that. So yep. Oh, talk about Lord Bell. Don't bring that guy up. I'm about to relive the World Cup and get angry. I don't like him. I don't rate him. Oh my god, I don't like him. The game almost forces Ten Hag to not really build from the back because he's mediocre at distribution. From what I can tell, Casemiro really helped turn that team around, and Rashford being in form too. Because Rashford, a lot of times when I think he's playing well, I think he tends to get hurt. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but I have been enjoying watching club football again. I'm still spread a little thin, and I'm trying to do my best to kind of like watch everything. But I won't lie, I have mostly been watching EPL and Liga. And but the league that I watched the most has always been La Liga. La Liga is what I've always watched the most. I guess in EPL. The one that I don't really watch, I never really ever watched seriously was Bundesliga. I'd watch certain games like if Dortmund's playing, and I feel like I'm Bayern Munich's biggest hater. It's got to be me. And Liga, I never used to really watch. I used to watch a little bit of CDA, especially when Phenomena was coming up and everything. But I kind of mostly just watch La Liga and EPL. But I've been watching a lot of Liga. I've been actually enjoying watching Rennes play aside from PSG, and I've been enjoying watching Frank. I almost did it again. Frankfurt. I always say Frankenfurt first, and then I say Frankfurt. But Colo's my guy though, so I like Colo. I like French players a lot, and you see African descent. I like French players a lot. So Moani's my dude. I've been enjoying watching him, especially after he has the save from Martinez stuck in his head. I like that he's playing well. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Rashford was playing injured last 2 years. Casemiro was a godsend, and sending Maguire on the bench. Also, Jacko, I think it was you that I said this to on Twitter. I was tripping that day. I was like emotional and I was mad. So like, don't take that too seriously. You were right about Ronaldo. My general point was that like I still think he has enough skills and really good to like play at a high elite level, but you have to find a specific role where he's not disturbing the team too much because Portugal play with a different type of zeal and freeness and whatnot when he wasn't on the pitch. And me having seen him play in Saudi a couple times and me watching him now, he's not the same player he used to be. It's not that he's not good. It's not that he can't do stuff. It's not that he can't do stuff, but he's old. He's got a lot of mileage too. So I do want to. I forgot to. I forgot. If, I don't remember if I already told you that, but just my bad on that. You were right. He's not. He would have not been the best player in Portugal in that sense. Barca and incoming 300 financial levelers of 5 years. Barca from what I've seen been playing well. I haven't watched him. I haven't. I'll take my W. Thank you very much. Look at him. He did it. Yo, Balgun's been going crazy too. By the way, I've been enjoying watching him play. In Germany, they have some kind of Stockholm syndrome when it's Bayern. They think Bayern winning 10 leagues in a row is a necessary evil. It's not. It's not raw. It's not raw, dude. It's because the rules make it easier for other clubs to strengthen Bayern on the standing outside. Balogun is not coming up, but this league is exactly what brought most of the revolution along with Pep to modern football. I'll take. There you go. Yeah. So kudos to you on that, bro. I will. I am always mad enough to admit when I'm fucking wrong. Because what's the first thing I did when Messi won the World Cup? What did I tell? What did I say? He's a goat. I lose. It is what it is. I'm not. I've never been a delusional Ronaldo fanboy, if you will. Though I was probably a delusional Thierry Henry one. I was younger, so I'm giving myself a cop out. But if you don't know, Thierry Henry's the first player I ever fell in love with. I loved watching that guy play, and I still love watching him play, and watching him talk and analyze the game. And I do not think Mbappe is faster than him. I like peak for peak, prime for prime. I think Henry's faster than him. I really mean that. I really mean that. You're a Ronaldinho kid. I I feel like I'm the Brazilian. I'm the Brazilian hater. I feel like I hate on Brazilians, low key. That's what I think. You Gerard? Yeah, feel it, feel it. Did you also have a good laugh on Blue Lock? Literally introduced wholesale stock evaluation. Yeah, that was funny. I also laughed at Chris Prince being very unserious. I'm like, who's he supposed to be? Like Ronaldo ego. Like I think some of them like you could tell. Like I actually got the Griezmann thing from Noah for some reason. I think they said he's a mixture of someone else, him and someone else. I don't remember the other ones. I really don't remember them. I'm so sorry. Kaiser and blah blah yada yada. But like I saw like low key, I'm like, okay, that's Mbappe. I'm like, who the hell is Chris Prince supposed to be? And I looked at somebody and someone was like, he's Harry Kane. I'm like, no, the fuck he is not. He's not Harry Kane. No, the fuck he is not. Reddit, you dumbass. I don't. Well, I'm not gonna be wrong, but I don't believe that. So, you were Gerard, Messi. He only likes. Yeah, I was. When I say, I want to say, I would like Kaka. Kaka was was my boy. I Endrick Felipe. I've been keeping my eye on a little bit. I keep my eye on him, but Brazilians used to always kind of upset me because I always think they're so talented and gifted and skillful and they want the beautiful game. And like, oh, we won the game. I dribbled past everybody and scored 2 goals. Time to drink fucking not train. And I'm like, I'm like a Kobe Mamba mentality, Ronaldo. I eat the right things, trainer. Like that's like the school of thought that I come from. And I know everyone's different, and there's not one way to succeed. But it bothers me. It bothers. I always think they could be so much better because like I'm like their primes and their peaks are incredible. You can never take that away from them. But I'm like, you could have sustained greatness and longevity if you just took better of yourself. So it drives me crazy. That's my problem. And Brazil and Germany are the two teams that that casuals and normies always say are going to win when they don't know shit. Oh, like who you rooting for the World Cup? Oh, you know I'm rooting for Brazil. You know Pele. I'm like, oh, brother. So yeah, rest in peace, by the way, to him. As of Bundesliga has a rule where 50% of the clubs are owned publicly, which on one hand makes it so Man Cities and now Newcastle's aren't created, but nowadays makes it so tops get separated more. I don't know. I don't know how they can fix some of the money problems stuff like that. But I know me, right? I'm a competitor. If I was in the Bundesliga, I'm pretty sure I'd play with the Dortmund, maybe Frankfurt. But you couldn't get me to just come to like the ultimate top flight place in any of the top 5 European leagues because they have a monopoly on a lot of money like that. I don't think I'd want to play for. I wouldn't want to play for PSG. Maybe like Marseille or Lyon or something like that. And Bayern, like I said, like It's funny because me and Pat are teaming up on tomorrow for Valentine's Day because we want Bayern out of here for Champions League because he's a Messi guy, and as much as I'm more watching this team to watch Mbappe play, club football. I'm like, and I'm almost like that fuck ass Argentinians on my team, and he's like, bro, we got to put aside our differences to take down Barca. I'm to take up Bayern. I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. He to go right now. Like to take down Bayern, we got to team up because I just don't like that team. I never did. But a thing you'll know about me is and I've always been honest about this when it comes to football. I'm not a club guy. Y'all know what my favorite international team was, and it's been the same since 1998. It's never changed, right? I love France, and a lot of my favorite players are French players. My favorite player on France was Griezmann until Mbappe really showed me something because I didn't really watch him play too much. I watched him play. I think the year he was 20 was the year I watched him play the most. I would say. And I had to go back. I had to kind of reverse. I had to watch him a bit at Monaco. He kind of came the Henry route, by the way. Watched him at Monaco, then PSG, and then him and Neymar had a falling out, and then he became like the shadow, whatever. Like I had to go back a little bit, but he showed me a lot during the World Cup, especially in that last game. So I became a fan. But yeah, Brazil has not been a single European in a knockout since 2002. They are tanking South America right now. Damn, and Brazil only have two routes: partying or prayer, no in between. Ronaldinho was a game of completing football. 2006 won everything and stopped caring as much. 2019 in Milan was great flashbacks of what he could be if he kept playing. Bayern and PSG tomorrow. Final, yeah. No, that's. I mean, I can't speak about to be a player or whatever, or be a partier or be a religious person. But I do find a lot of them like only Jesus and they're like religious tattoos and stuff. Like you do see that pretty often. So um, that's interesting. I never really knew that. I thought about thought about it like that. So yeah. Trent came in here. I know exactly why you said that. It's not. I'm sorry, brother. You don't know any better. You a basketball nigga. You a workout merchant. You don't know what you're looking at. I'm I don't dislike. I don't hate Blue Lock though. I really don't. I don't. It's not like it's to me. It's low key mid that hits, but I had fun with it in my own ways. Even though I like cooking it and cooking Boro because he's trash, but Al Ashi is fucking clear, my boy. Clear as day, crystal clear. That water is so clear I can see the rocks in the coral reef. That's how clear it is, boy. So yeah. Galactic football greater than Blue Log, and I'll stand by that forever. Also, yeah. So, what I meant to say about before I went there, I've never been a guy who was loyal to clubs in football. In basketball, you could say that I was a Lakers fan for a long time because my favorite player is Kobe Bryant. God rest his soul. And then I became a Bulls fan for most of my life, and now I'm a Memphis Grizzlies fan. I guess you could say. To the point that even when Rose, like I like players other than Rose, like Joakim Noah is still one of my 10 favorite players of all time. Back when he was there, the rookie with I think it was Kirk Heinrich, Ben Gordon, not Taj Gibson, it was Tyrus Thomas and and Noah and stuff. Like that squad was crazy and whatnot. But what am I gonna say? Fuck. Train of thought. God, I'm so old. Anyways, but yeah. But Real Madrid was the team that I supported the longest because obviously Ronaldo spent a good amount of time there. So I kind of went from Arsenal to Man City, Manchester United to kind of Real Madrid, and then I didn't really like. I still paid attention to when he won the what's it called, the Scudetto and Serie A and stuff. And I thought he was still playing well, and I don't think he necessarily failed in Juventus, and I don't think it was his fault, but I didn't become a Juventus person. So if you want, Madrid is the team I have the most jerseys for. So yeah. You would want to interview with me soon, by the way. I'm around, brother. Also, we got to get the next episode of the Strong Nigga Trio out. But yeah, I'm here for it, bro. I'm here. I'm ready. Whenever you want to do it. And if you, I think you're an anime watcher for Blue Lock, so I don't want to spoil you. I am caught up to the manga for both these series, and I was talking about it fully in depth, by the way, just so you know. You gotta start a football manager save random team, and I promise you will fall in love with that team. You think so? Oh, I'm a Barca clues for almost 20 years now. for national team, I have to root for my Polish frauds or help be excommunicated. Fair enough. Fair enough. Like I'm from Canada. Like was it cool to see them like making and stuff? And I wanted to get out the round of because I'm sorry, I was not scared of friggin' uh Belgium. I was not scared of them, but like Canada's unserious. And if you want to go to my Paris countries, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, so like I speak French, so c'est France, allez les bleus. It's because I like Henri so much. Like the way that France loves Zizou is probably the way that I like Titi. So Henri's my guy, man. I still think I think he's the EPL goat. I could be. I know that's a little hyperbolic. There's other people you could throw in there, but he's my EPL goat. That guy was different. Invincibles. He had some years of Barca too. I love that guy. So I've never played Football Manager before though. I've never played it before. I actually haven't played FIFA since like FIFA 2016. Like seriously, like 2016 is the last one I played. The football game I played the most is Mario Strikers Charged. Not even Battle League. That shit is garbage. Oh my god, it's ass. Oh my god, it's cock and a sock. What's up? What's up? What's up, Lizard? You ready to see your fucking beloved Bayern go down tomorrow in the first leg? Ready to see Paris Saint Germain? Spinning with Football Manager, I actively root for the four pallets because of them. Maybe I'm sure I'd learn a lot about some of those other more obscure leagues and other teams like that if I played it. I was I was watching a video that was talking about some island team that has like the greatest monopoly of all times, like worse than like Bayern. Like that's interesting. I never really thought about other ones like outside of like the top five. I think about the Portuguese league for the most part. Um, yeah. Like I actually like low key wanted I know in hindsight it was a stupid thing to think because of money and maybe location and stuff, but I kind of wanted Ronaldo to go back to Lipson for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not mad at him going to Qatar, and he should unwind. I think one thing Ronaldo may have benefited from is maybe evolving his game more so to be a little bit more supporting because Messi. I think what saved Messi's legs a lot in a lot of ways is he doesn't have to be the guy on PSG. It's not to say he's not the guy or not the best player, most talented one with the most experience and whatnot there, but he that's Mbappe's team. Mbappe is the prolific goal scorer of that team who has to shoulder that responsibility to some degree. By the way, I like Hugo Ekitike because I started watching them pretty much right after like football resumed, so a little bit before like Messi and Mbappe those guys came back. He was scoring a lot. I like him. I like him. I hope he can become a decent player. This is a random thought I had, but I like that dude. Be smoking on that Paris pack? No, the fuck they are not. Borrow is garbage. As long as we all know. Yeah, I see JD got me back in 2020 playing a new one because I don't play much else, so I can afford a new one. The problem with me is I play so much other games and video games that like games that I just had to play over and over forever is hard. But I was thinking about maybe I think FIFA's supposed to be changing something like FIFA's not like with EA anymore or something. We'll see what they do, but yeah, Ikite is like Chupomo. Think you think so? Hold on. Oh, Zara Emery, yeah, he's he's a 16-year-old that got that got the one goal, like the youngest PSG scorer, right? I think he's like 16, 17. The young boy. I think I know what you're talking about. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he was prior to that. He seemed decent too. He seemed decent. So them Bloodboard streams. I'm sorry, I've somehow lost my ability to read. My boy Sagira, though he getting a little cold. I can't spoil anything like because I'm caught up to the manga, so I'm not gonna spoil anything to you. But he does come a long way. Like I started to actually try to put ratings on him around the part I think where the anime is. I started to put some more ratings on him. He's a very cerebral player. I respect players like that. As somebody who evolved into a more IQ centric cerebral player, who was pretty much I was youthful, I was youthful enthusiasm, athleticism, and physicality more than anything else before I got older and learned to be better at certain things and actually get a left foot. So I can appreciate that. Oh yeah, PSG is low. I know I'm not delusional. I'm very scared. So We saw about the ghost trip. Yeah, anyway, listen, man. As- we could still do something in the second leg as long as this first leg doesn't go bad. But PSG has not been playing well. Not been playing well. Half the time I turn the game on, they get scored on. I think I turned the game on. This is not their last game. The one before that. I think it's the one where Mbappe maybe got hurt. I turned it on and they conceded the free goal kick. And I think Ramos got hurt that game too. So excuse me. But Frankfurt's the team I've had the most fun watching, Loki. I like that. I like them. They're interesting. They're my dark horse for the Champions League. Not saying they're gonna win or go far or do anything crazy. Just watch out. Watch out. That's all I'm saying. Watch out for Colo. 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 Ren telling Isagi to go learn how eyes work will never not be. That is kind of that isn't that guy is interesting. But when he started drooping his tongue out and doing all that weird shit, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. I just realized I'm using the wrong camera. It's crazy. I've been on this webcam this whole time. Just just looked and my camera's right here. That's crazy. That's a that's a new level of ineptitude on my part. Anywho, PSG defense is so defense. Yo, PSG defense stresses me out the same way France's defense was stressing me out from the England game. From England on, I'm like, why is our defense so unserious and undisciplined? What is going on? Yeah, they can't they can't stop a parked car, man. And I like defense. I love great defense. The reason why N'Golo, God damn, he's one of my favorite players. In a lot of ways, he reminds me of me, except that like I can like attack a bit more. But like, I love that guy. I just I can't. I wish we had him. I wish we had him. If we had him, we were. It was me back to back. If we had him there, oh my god. But anyways, yeah, they still use the Thiago Silva. How old is Ramos? How old is Sergio Ramos? Is he in his late 30s? I don't know how old he is. Three front, one defend, and the defense can defend. I think Mbappe's leaving anyways when his contract's up. I think he wants to go to Madrid. So yeah, around that age, yeah, yeah. I know like defenders and center backs and stuff. They sometimes they can play a little longer, but yeah, put them in one of those like non-top flight league type things. So sorry, I'm reading a text message. It's important. C'est important. Importante. Itoshi Sai Demon Kun's boyfriend. He's so funny. He's like, can I have your number? Can I? He's like, he say score, get a hat trick, and I'll consider it to change. To change. Whatever. He's 45 days from 37. Yeah, jeez. Those guys took care of themselves well though in a lot of ways. I don't remember how old he was when I first saw him. I remember him with the straight hair and the fucking the little headband thing. I think, but yeah, man. 2 years of freedom from Vini and Mbappe and Drake. I'm counting these. I wonder where some of those players would go, but I don't know. I don't dislike Liga. I don't think it's a farmers league, but I don't call any league a farmers league personally speaking. I understand the general sentiment and why people say stuff because the thing about EPL that I always understood is like more teams are generally watch Napoli. I'll watch them. I wanted to watch. Was it Roma? I wanted to watch too. Yeah, someone wanted to watch, but I want to watch. I'm gonna try to watch like every Champions game, League game, because basically I'm getting myself back into the club football. I'm surprised I did it. I thought I was lying to myself. Like I'm gonna watch club football again. I'm inspired. I'm like, oh, I probably won't do it. And I was doing it. I'm like, look at me. I'm back. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce those or Osahem. I feel fun with the whole Spalletti squad. All right, I'm gonna get back my Italian pronunciations too. Bene. I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna get it back. Cause I used to watch a decent amount of Serie A. Cause they used to be the defensive league too. So I remember my coach was like, "You should probably watch this league because they play defense really well." But my ass was watching Henri, Gunners, Invincibles. That's what I was watching. I was watching that man cook on the wing, cook in the middle, drop a dime. Oh my god, I love watching him play. He's so fun to watch, bro. Calverdona. Oh, there you go. Nah, there's a lot of names where I just see them like, listen, I'm gonna have to at least hear someone pronounce that, and then then I know how to say it. So even in Mbappe, I'm like, bro, what? He's Georgian. After 2-3 games from the Italy, fans called him. Oh, okay, okay, like the Maradona. All right, God rest his soul. Draco, what's your opinion on Maradona? Just out of curiosity, I'm trying to temper. I'm trying to see if my kind of thought on him is wild or very contrarian. Because I think like the one like NBA legend I think I have the most controversial opinion on is Magic, and I wonder if I have something similar for Maradona to like all time great. Like is he like I don't know if you think Messi's the goat now, but was he if he's not was is he a legitimate goat contender to you or like or like one of the second best? 'Cause I was wondering because I remember some people asking me if I thought Zizou was one of the goats ever. I'm like, I really love Zizou, but no, I don't think he's in that conversation. I think whatever the next tier is, he's in that tier though. Top two of all time, one of the biggest bipolar players ever. Okay, fair enough then. I go like more like top 10 than I go top three, but I'm not mad. I'm not. I'm never mad at it. I never lived through it, so I'll never know. There could be so much like in time context I could just never truly understand as someone being born in '93. But I always wonder. Pele, I don't think I have a controversial opinion on. I just always known that his entire goal count was not official. He always counted friendlies and stuff. So, what was Marvel doing? The cocaine. Coke, coke, one hell of a drug. Yeah. I don't know what to. I don't know. It's hard for me to like. It's one of the things where like you're so great, but like, what were you doing? Like, I don't know what to do with that sometimes. Right? Like, I like players that are great, but also have a certain level of decorum, professionalism. I don't care if you're an egotistical maniac, though. That doesn't bother me, especially if you're as good as some certain players. But I don't even always like reserved players all the time. It depends though, because Rose was kind of reserved. I didn't mind it, and Kawhi, I like it because it's funny. Because Kawhi's very deadpan, straight laced. Like, so Kawhi, like, we're gonna be for like game three, and he's like, I think what he was, I knew what he was asking. He's like, I'm gonna be in game three, I'm gonna be in Toronto for game three, and I'm like, what a literal, that's the most literal answer. I love that guy. When's the last time you listened to the illustrious Honey Cocaine? Jeez, Honey Cocaine. She's from Canada, if I remember correctly, or Toronto. She was that Asian girl. I saw her at Dundas Square once. I think doing a little show on one of those stages, but I got it probably like 2013. I don't know. It's been a long time. I forgot she existed. Honestly. That first time I heard Kawhi laugh, almost pissed myself. Yeah, that was funny. But I was like, we could win. We can finally win. We got rid of the Rosen. We have Kawhi. We can win. That's all I was thinking. I am the greatest. I am the greatest Raptors 1 year bandwagon fan like hopper of all time. I hopped on for 1 year. I hyped them up and I fucking dipped. I do not rate the Raptors, bro. I don't rate them. Really, was 20 years ahead of schedule. That's why for me he's still in the three. Maradona, similar vein. His legend is bigger than what he was, but I still think greater than Cristiano. Okay, that's fair. I don't agree with that. That part I don't agree with, but that's fair. Do you think she carries the machine? You got the machine? Oh, fam. Honey Cocaine has the machine. Everyone run before she gurks us. Um, I don't know. You just like Zushi. Um, yeah, Pele's top three for me. Um, I have him third. I have Messi, Ronaldo. Then I have him. Maybe Maradona next. I don't think about that. I'm working on like top 10 kind of my position and top 10 by and then top 50 in general for some streams later on in the year that me and Pat are gonna do. We have some football streams coming up, so we'll do that. But the biggest thing Ronaldo will always have is that he doesn't have the World Cup, I suppose. But I do not think that. I don't know. Portugal is pretty good this year. Yeah, I can't remember. There's one year I thought he could do it, but I think as far as international, what does he have? Nations League and Euro 2016. Is that it? I think Nations League 2021 and the Euro 2016. What? I still think that his body of work, longevity, goal tallying, and stuff like that. To me, he's better than them. But I'm not mad at that. Messi, Pele, Maradona, Ronaldo, Beckenbauer, Cruyff is my top six. Maradona could do more with less. These Argentina and Napoli teams were not it without him. Fair. Mr. Total Football, totally fine with that. Beckenbauer was good, but yeah, I feel it. If he won the 20 euros as team manager though. I don't. I'm not like I don't like I get you guys are bantering, but I don't really banter like that. But I hear you. I get it, and I still think we frauded our way. We won like no matches. We hella draws, hella matches. I think was Wales the only team we actually beat in like in actual like regulation time. Like that was we frauded our way to that cup, but a W was a W. I don't do all those asterisks and this and that and bubble Mickey Mouse. I'm not. I don't. I'm not like that. I'm totally fine if other people have a different perspective of how they want to analyze it. I'm not like that. It's why I get mad at even Ronaldo fans when they're like, they'll say something like he's the GOAT because of this. I'm like, no, he's not. That's not a good argument. Why did you say that? You make me look stupid as a result because I support him. I hate that. I don't like I don't know, but I get it though. But yeah, Cristiano hold that team down to the final, and he played a couple of minutes in it, I think. But yeah, that broke my heart because I was like, damn. But it wasn't. I couldn't believe Eder saved our lives. I said, let's go. I can't fucking believe it. And it was nice to see Kadeshma get a little bit of love because he was he was kind of like having trouble. So shout out to Kadeshma. It's not an asterisk. I think he. Oh, you're saying he should become a manager? You said he should. You said he should become a manager. Oh, I thought you were telling me that. I thought you were telling me that he didn't win. He didn't win the Euros 2016. He was the manager because he was on the sidelines for the most of the last game. I thought you were making that joke because people say that a lot. That's all. My bad. Right, like 10 kids is recognized legally. Yo, I know there's one he did it. There's one kid I know he had. He just did not claim that kid. I'm like, what? Because didn't Aguero marry one of his daughters? Right? I think it was Aguero, right? Maybe it was another Argentine. I think it was Aguero. It's not Di Maria. I think no, Di Maria. No, it wasn't Di Maria. I think it was. Yeah, I think I know that. I didn't know there was like 10 that he wasn't claiming. I knew there was like one specifically. He was not fucking with that kid for some reason, but Aguero. You guys are gonna see that on Tower God video I've been cooking up. I made a video. I'm working on a video where I talk about every single Tower of God play character that's named after or a reference to a football player, which has been very fun. I'm almost done part one. I might have it out by next Thursday. I'm trying to aim for Friday, but just once Friday hits and I hit like my time, I'm done. I'm done working. So I must say this stuff for football in general. Cruyff really that guy, player, coach, manager. Yo, no, total football was a total game changer. And if I guess if there's another like nation of football that I think is really great, and I've always said this, before I die, I want to see the Dutch hoist a World Cup trophy before I die. I love the Netherlands, man. I love a lot of those players. But no, he's different, man. He was great. He was right. He has a brilliant football mind too. He passed away pretty early, from what I can remember. I don't think he was even 70 or maybe his early 70s. But no, shout out to Johan Cruyff, man. He was truly that dude. He's like one of the first like older generation players that I learned about that weren't like Pele, Maradona. It was like him, maybe the Kaiser. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody super important. Di Stefano, stuff like that. Like those were like the players from the olden days that I learned about. Um, that weren't like Maradona and Pele because those were like very very special ones. Aguero's kid is also Maradona's grandson. I think he has Messi as his godfather. That's so effing crazy. Could you imagine? But that could also put a tremendous amount of pressure on someone, a kid like that. I don't know if he plays football or whatever. This is a completely random question. Does Mateo or Thiago or whatever Messi's kids do they like football or want to play football or have they ever played at all? I know Cristiano or Cristiano Junior or whatever. I know he's been playing. Just curious because I there's a part of me that would like get a humongous kick of like the next generation of like it's like Cristiano Ronaldo's kid versus Messi's kids, and they're all like trying to vie for being the best. It would give me it put a smile on my face that I can't really describe, but I don't think football can generate I don't think you can manufacture a rivalry like Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. You have to have it happen organically, and they were also in the top two teams of in Spain, so La Liga and Barca. So the Catalans and the Galacticos, if you will. Another Tower God video. Let me know when the Cabrera versus Cutie Country comes through. Okay, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Imagine if the kids were like Oda and Don, and Oda and Don like the sport. It'd be funny if it's just like, oh yeah, nah, this is mid. Like I want to be a painter or I'll play. I'm a basketball or something. That'd be interesting too. But I don't know. There's a part of it like, what if those kids like they're the next coming up? It'd be so fucking awesome. They do, but I think Thiago Messi doesn't like it. Didn't like it at first, and he used to make fun of Messi when he lost, and he used to bring the opposition's jersey every match. Is he? Is that the one that's like a bit of a? I know he says one of his kids is a shithead. Like if the opposing team scores, he'll cheer. He'll. I when actually, by the way, I recognize that channel. When I clicked on it and I saw that channel, oh, I actually have been here before. I didn't know that was the name was called, but I am going to I might just watch it after the fact, or maybe do a stream and watch it. But no, I didn't watch it yet. But I have the channel. I'm subscribed to it so I could see it. So I want to forget. But I recognize the guy with the animation guy with the blue hair or the green hair or something like that. I'm like, oh, I think I've watched some of these. So, but yeah, he's like. Apparently, he also does to piss off his brother because his brother's like always cheering for like his dad's team, and he'll just do it to like annoy them. There was one time I think they were playing and they were in the stands, and the kid they scored against him, and he cheered it, and I think Suarez was like, "Bro, what the fuck?" And Messi's like, "God damn it!" I think Messi takes it well though. All right, man, take care. I'm gonna wrap it up at 2 hours, and I don't know if Simi's about to go live soon. Let me just make sure. So probably, but yeah, I got a couple more things to say. But yeah, that's. But yeah, I recognize the channel though. I definitely at first was like, I don't know what this is, but yeah, yeah. The next generation of Ronaldo's and Messi's kid, that would just be something. That would be so crazy. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how great they are. What the fuck was I about to say? Another thing that's exciting, this is I guess unrelated to football. Friday we get JoJo Lands, bro. We gonna be here on Friday to read that first chapter on JoJo Lands on stream live. I'm so hyped and excited. Peak is coming back as the kids say. Peak is on the horizon. Peak is returning. The zenith of the medium. Manga gonna be saved again. Manga ain't been the same since Oda decided that he was just fucking garbage, and that JoJo ended. So I like even still skimmed that last chapter of like One Piece. I'm like, this is still ass, and I didn't even read it. Read it. I skimmed it. I'm like, wow, that's what we're doing. Trash, boring, mid. Not interested. I'll be back though at some point. I need something to sink my teeth into. And everything that I'm getting at One Piece is not it. I rather read Blue Lock right now. So I rather listen to these niggas talk about devour, kill, and niggas tongue hanging out like he's Michael Jordan. So yeah, god damn it. I haven't really read much about what JoJo Land is gonna be about. I've been uh I've been trying to keep it more of a not secret, but like I want to go into it blind as I can go into it. So I'm like super pumped for it. So, but motherfucker is actually friendly banter. Is rather he said his kid was a motherfucker in an interview, but motherfucker, yeah. I know. I'm not one of those people who like. I do not believe the North American Western way of life is the way that the entire world should be. So I remember some people being mad that he called him like he's a motherfucker, but like that's just like a culture thing. I get that. I get that. I've never been one of those people because I remember even with Qatar, a lot of the people were like, "Oh, we can't drink. I can't wear my rainbow color, super gay rainbow unicorn cock in the mouth shirt because they don't f with that down there." Yo, when you go to someone's country and place of origin, whether or not you agree with what's going on, yo, you respect their tradition, the standards, and the culture that they have there. You don't go there and demand that they acclimate to you. You're in their environment. I hate that shit. That's such entitled fucking behavior that I can't. Yeah, they love saying cunt over there. Yeah, shut fucking. Well, I can't do Australian accents, but I like saying M&M's. That's how they say M&M's. They say M&M. You want some M&M's? The first time I heard that, shit, I started dying. Like like he did not turn M&M's into M&M's. But sorry. But yeah, I didn't forget how Franco Di Stefano. I don't forget the Franco Di Stefano bullshit. Barca got scammed for Madrid's golden generation just because the dictator was Madrid. Oh yeah, you ever like see how corrupt football was so corrupt back then? That is not corrupted, but like sometimes games people would be scared to win because like the army is in the crowd. Like yo, they'll kill you. You can't even get off the pitch and shit crazy, which is kind of wild. But yeah, that's crazy. I hope it's the final part, but I have no idea because I think he should. I think it'd be cool to have 3 trilogies: the Stone Mask trilogy, so that's part 1 to 3. The Arrows trilogy, that's the Stand Arrows trilogy, so for the 6. Then the alternate timeline dimension, whatever universe, which is 7, 8, 9. I would though, but yeah. Americans think they own the world. Yeah, I don't know why. But Canadians, I'm not gonna act like Canadians aren't very self entitled. Canadians, they just think they're better than Americans for no reason. For no reason. It's the funniest thing ever. They're just high and mighty about it, and I'm like, why? Why do you think you're just better? It's very weird. So, but I've never been like that. Cause I also have like I come from like my dad's Jamaican. Jamaican culture has a lot of things ingrained to it that would not go with the established right think. Put it that way. Like there'll be stuff like like Batiman for dead stuff like that. Like I'm not here to tell you it's right or it's wrong. You make that decision yourself. You're your own person. You can define your own moral compass. But I understand where it comes from, and thus as a result, I don't like go up in arms about it. Well, I've always been that way. And one of the coolest places that did that to me is when I went to Cuba. I went to Cuba and I was like, yo, it's different over here. Like it's really awesome. What's up, Simi? You about ready to fire it up? By the way, I already went through all I want to go through for the most part of Blue Lock. I'm just killing time. When you're ready to fire it up, you let me know, brother. If you're firing it up today, but yeah, I really love my time in Cuba. And I went there and I watched the people. And I was like, I wasn't invited there though. And I went to Habano, the capital, and I was just like, in the city, and I was saying how sick their doctors are. And I say sick, not as like, like they're I almost said they're ill, like dope, like they're very talented and they're streaming. Oh, you're on break? Okay, right, fair enough. And what was I gonna say? There's one more thing I'm forgetting. And their car mechanics and all the car mechanics, and they have like old school cars and buggies and stuff. It was so sick. Like I really liked my time in Cuba. Cuba was the trip that made me want to travel to at least one place every year. But okay. But yeah. Um this year I'm trying to go to DreamCon, and I believe Otakon is what I'm going to with Simi, and I don't know what that is, Washington DC. And then yeah, Cuba has something stocks in a row. Yeah, I knew that now. I didn't know that at the time. When I went there, I learned that. I learned that when I was down there, and I'm still trying to make a trip to Atlanta if I can. 3 might be a bit much, but I'm gonna do my very besto friendo. But yeah, tomorrow, man. Tomorrow I may be alone on Valentine's Day, but if Bayern's in the mud, it's a good day. It's a good day. Gotta get these guys out of here. I'm so happy they're not like dominating Bundesliga like crazy right now. But with them and PSG are actually low key because I know PSG has kind of a monopoly low key on Liga. At least for a while it was. When I also forget if that guy's from Qatar for like Saudi, but he just oil money. It's like yeah yeah, so yeah. I'm gonna say Bayern gonna ruin my day. We'll see, man. We'll see. East and Nia teaming up. The role's in danger. Yeah, yeah, real shenanigans. Real machine. Yo, fam. Yo, where's East? We got the Gurk Spence. They don't know that we're I'm a guy. That's how we're gonna have to move in those streets. He's gonna move like super Atlantean, and I'm gonna move super Toronto man. God, that'd be so fucking toxic. Oh God. I even know what East be saying sometimes when he be in this Atlanta speak. I'm like, are you casting a spell on me? Is this that game that I'm not allowed to play? Yo, by the way, no, we gotta watch this. We gotta watch this on stream. We gotta watch that donkey video on stream, bro. That shit was so fucking funny. Oh my God, that shit was hilarious. Shit, worst accent combination. I heard Baltimore, like Maryland, are like definitively like the worst or something like that. So that shit was so funny, man. We gotta watch this video, bro. I legitimately think Donkey is hilarious. Let me just go to this screen. I'm gonna put it on this one. Oh wow. Whoops. Deactivate. Reminds me of 4T Dog Cry. That sounds so effing familiar. Windows capture, right? Yeah, there we go. So it's called Harry Potter and the Forbidden Game or whatever. Bro, we gotta watch this. It's so fucking funny. This thing is actually fucking hilarious. I don't care what no one tells me. Y'all ready? Let's get it.
Here I am with the new game Harry Potter Legacy. Sorry about that, everybody. I did not know about the whole situation behind that game, so instead, we're going to be playing the new Rick and Morty game. I feel like I need to apologize again. I did not know that the dude who makes that game was a sexual weirdo, so instead, we're going to be playing Overwatch 2. Okay, apparently the team behind Overwatch was doing some really messed up stuff behind the scenes, so... Okay, apparently the team behind Assassin's Creed was doing some really messed up stuff. Okay, apparently the director on that game was fired for unspeakable acts, so we're doing Dead Space. I did not know that EA was funding a blood diamond mining operation. I am now trending on Twitter. People are calling me more evil than Voldemort, so instead we're going to be playing. Sonic fans are now attempting to sue me for defamation. I don't think that's how it works, but just to be safe, we're going to be playing Last of Us Part 2 instead. Gamers, I made a big mistake. I'm getting in a lot of trouble today. I did not realize Last of Us 2 was a woke type game, so instead we're playing the most unwoken game, Sleeping Dogs. I did not know that Square Enix had retroactively added NFTs to that game, so instead we're playing WWE 2K22. That was a fucking disaster. Apparently Hulk Hogan has been saying crazy shit. I don't want any kind of evil energy on this video, so we're going back to the classic SmackDown vs. Raw 2004. This is a different, non-controversial game with no... So today we're going to be playing Fortnite, where I'm going to be using the Will Smith skin. I just now found out about the Will Smith situation, so instead we're going to be playing... I just don't like Valorant, so instead I'm playing Bad Boys 2. I'm sorry to all my fans that were upset about the previous game. I forgot that Bad Boys 2 also had Will Smith in it, so instead we're going to be playing the Shark Tale. Even though it wasn't Will Smith who voiced him in the video game, I feel like just out of respect to the families, I shouldn't play that game. That was a bad call. Playing
Shut the
Gex.
fuck up.
This game is rated E. It's a classic game. Everybody here loves Gex. This is the only game I trust.
Ah, ancient Chinese level. I'm Tom Wu. You can be a millionaire. Dr. Jones, you will never get all 3 chakra stones. With a level 6, you get aggro.
Today we're going to be playing Spider-Man 2.
I got a thorough kick out of that because obviously he's trolling the stupid people who are making a big deal out of fucking Hogwarts Legacy and shit like that. But goddamn, that was hilarious. That was like good to me. That's how you do funny social like political commentary on something without having to literally dive into it. Like people will get that. I love that. Like if you want to play the Harry Potter game, go fucking play it. Who cares? Let them stop there. Let them cry. Like they're so fucking annoying. So. Him saying woke type game, then he played Sleeping Dogs. That set me. I think Donkey's hilarious, bro. I don't care, but yeah, man, don't feel bad if you want to play that game. You're not a fucking bad person. You're not killing trans people or whatever. Like you're fine. You'll be okay. You're cool. You're a cool dude. You'll be fine. But only get it because you want to play it. Don't be one of those weirdo like I'm gonna get it so I can dunk on the libs and put a dildo in my ass. Don't do that. So. J.K. Rowling. I still think J.K. Rowling should be in jail for Mary Turfman's tweet. That's the worst part of it. That's the worst thing. She's insufferable anyways. So, but man, as far as like upcoming things that I have planned, that's not just a TOG video. Um, I I th- I want to do it next week. I think so. We'll do our first revisionist history for 2023. We'll get that popping. We'll get that going. There was the comparison stream thing. I'm ready to make a thread for it, or if I'm not thread, maybe let's put it on my blog or something. So we're gonna do that. Let's get a real talk on the last few minutes. Oh man, I'm behind. I haven't since I've caught up. I haven't. But tell me what's been going on though. What's been going on in Talkville? I might. You know what? I'm gonna throw that on while I'm editing instead of Pop Culture Crisis because they haven't been moving me like that. But yeah, what's going on with Talkville? How far are they right now? I think I saw Erica. They were talking about Lois being casted, Erica Durance. So that's exciting. God, Smallville's so goat. Let me just pull this out for y'all so y'all can just see this. Like, look at this greatness. Greatness. Smallville. I love Smallville, bro. All my dreams are on the ground, crawling around. This is before DC got super unserious with and still trying to figure out how James Gunn got away with what he got away with. But all right, I guess he's the right kind of I don't know. Like I'm like, wasn't he canceled too? How did he escape? Everyone else got thrown to the wayside. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, Smallville, and then wait before I get sidetracked. I have a couple of Tower God videos coming out because I found some screenshots of questions that were asked of me that I had in like random folders. So I actually went and found a bunch and turned some into a video. So like the next one you're probably gonna see is one basically talking about do the regulars, so kind of like your lorries and your huts and stuff, do they still matter? Based on a question that somebody whatever. Your messages are getting limited, lol. I might have to fix that a little bit then because oh, can you guys not post too much? Because I think me and Glam activated like a safety shield mode or something. We activated something solely because the bot thing that happened. So maybe we went overboard. I'll look into it. I'll tinker with it. I'm gonna tinker with it around. So my bad if it's doing like the weird thing, but I was trying to prevent another bot farming situation from happening again. I actually need to like learn how to turn alerts off too, though. I don't know how to do that yet. Unless I just delete the whole alert. Can I? I guess that's an option, but I think I did it through Streamlabs though, but I don't remember what my login was. That's the problem. So I gotta do that. But yeah. So I got that planned. Um, I also got. Oh yeah. Okay. I also have. Oh yes, that's what it was. I'm working on making like a. I might try Buddy Meter, but probably Cahoots will be better. But I want to do like a cool little Cahoots like game showcase with you guys here on stream. And if you win, like you'll get a prize. Like I will mail you a prize. I will not just make you play for fun and bragging rights. Maybe host a couple of game tournaments or something. I don't know. I think then one of the next things I want to play online for you guys and kind of maybe get good at with you guys is maybe Rush Down Revolt. We'll see. I have a bunch of ideas in my head, and because I actually want to stream more and edit less, I want to come up with more interesting, fun streams to do and watch and everything like that. So I've been cooking up, man. Telling you, these notebooks, I've been cooking. The pink one is unrelated, so something else. But these two, have been cooking up, man. Something is activated. I was forced to verify my account to comment. Okay, so there is so something was definitely whatever. I don't know if you were here at Pantagana. I did a little small stream on Sunday to kind of tell people why I was away randomly. I wasn't around and stuff. And you might notice if you look at my followers, it says 2K. Those aren't real followers; they're bots. I went from 712, sorry, to 2,033 subs in like 5 minutes, to the point it kind of crashed my stream and effed it up. And I didn't know what to do, so I kind of just ended the stream. So I was trying to activate some safety measures and counters so that I could at least prevent it from happening again. I even told Twitch support that it happened, so they don't think I'm trying to artificially boost my account. But I'll make sure to say at every stream that I don't actually have those numbers. It's not real. It's fugazi, and I hate that they're there because I feel fake. I don't feel like I'm not a real 2K commander on Twitch. I'm not. I'm just a regular dude. So there's that. But I have been going for about 2 hours, so I am about to wrap up, edit some stuff, and we'll be back tomorrow for some Kubera talk. And I think I have something a little interesting to talk about, and we'll get the revisionist history stuff going tomorrow. Just give me a little bit of time for the Tower God football video. I want that. I'm still able to get if I can't get part one by Friday, but I think safely to make it the way I want to make it, I'd rather just have the I don't know where the follow number is shown, maybe, but my like when I go on my Twitch, it says 2K instead of 700 and what the fucking whatever. But I can just show you real quick. I like on my thing on my end over here. Harry Potter. No, I want this. So like right here, I think. Oh no, it doesn't. What the fuck? Oh, does it? Oh, there it is. There you go. Like right there, it says 2K. It's supposed to say 700. I'll say high ball 700 and like 26, 716, and then low ball about 710. So I know where I'm at, unfortunately. So, but all right, y'all be safe. Take care of yourself, physically, mentally, all those things. Be better than I was, and we'll be back tomorrow. And we're gonna keep resuming. We're gonna keep going with our current schedule of kind of streaming around this time and generally speaking and everything. But yeah. But anywho, thank you guys for coming through. This was fun to talk about. I probably won't talk about Blue Lock or Ashi in any major capacity for a while. I don't know, maybe, but anyways, y'all be safe.